For the last 2 months we've been working with leading housing charity Shelter, and today we can exclusively reveal that in London the private rental sector has grown by 40% in 8 years. That's around 200,000 more families renting from private landlords. And it's the only housing sector that's growing. But instead of making sure that these families are protected, the coalition has scrapped legislation intended to spell out the rights and responsibilities of landlords and their tenants.
The market's expanding, but there's no regulation of it. We need to ensure that that massive expansion in the private rental sector, the vast majority of that is by good landlords, but a small percentage of the people are being exploited, and we need to make sure that that is stopped, and the government and local authorities have the powers to be able to do something about it.
Francis and Adam found their room in Tower Hamlets on Gumtree only 10 weeks ago.
It was something to do with this shower and how the water gets pumped up from downstairs. This is the room where all the water was coming into. So it was mainly coming through the light fitting there.
The landlord actually barged into my bedroom and I said to him, "Do you mind knocking before you come in my room, please?" To which he then walked up to me, was very close to my face, shouting, "Don't talk to me, I will kill you."
The couple say their landlord didn't stop there. He shut off their utilities, told the police they were squatters, and gathered 30 to 40 of his friends to throw stones at their windows. We've had exclusive access to a report put together by Shelter and the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health. It says 90% of environmental health officers have encountered cases of severe damp or mould, electrical or fire safety hazards in properties they investigated in the last year.
That doesn't go under there.
Natasha was placed in her flat in Hackney by a local authority scheme. Unlike Francis and Adam, who've received too much attention from their landlord, Natasha has been ignored by hers.
This is my front room, was my bedroom, but obviously I had to change it around because of it got so bad during the winter for the children. This is the actual worst window. If you can see, when it rains because really I haven't got no window at all, and it's about to fall out. This is my kitchen. As you can see, the kitchen has collapsed. This is my bathroom. The toilet is still actually leaking sewage because they've only raised the toilet. It needs a complete new system. My son got really sick one day and took him to the GP, sent home. It's just a viral flu, and then the next, I think he went for about a week of that, and he was really sick one night. He didn't sleep and he was jerking, and so I decided to go up to the hospital, the A&E walk-in service, and by the time I got there he totally collapsed, and he was diagnosed, he had a lumbar puncture, he was diagnosed with meningitis.
I showed footage of Natasha's home to the Deputy Managing Director of Grainger, the UK's biggest private landlord.
It astounds me that someone is able to rent accommodation like this. A tenant has to pay rent for that and live in this type of accommodation. It's not right.
Back in Tower Hamlets, Francis and Adam returned from a weekend away to find a nasty surprise.
And this is a notice of hearing where the landlord's actually taking us to court. He's claiming that, firstly, that we breached our tenancy and that we didn't notify him of the burst pipe, and he's claiming damages that leak caused up to £15,000.
It's the morning of the court hearing, and Francis and Adam have been joined by former tenant Becky. I tried to speak to their landlord outside Bow County Court.
My name's Tom Randall, I'm from London Tonight, ITV News. I want to talk to you about your conduct as a landlord.
He didn't have anything to say to Francis and Adam's allegations, and because the case has not yet been concluded, I've disguised his image. Anish from Grainger called me after our interview and said he'd like to help Natasha and her family in any way he could. And Francis and Adam are confident that they'll win the case. But arguably neither of these cases would have got to this stage if proper legislation had been in place. Tom Randall, London Tonight.